We've chosen to look at some of the most enduringly emotional movie soundtracks ever made, since a soundtrack can contribute just as much to the mood of a movie as its images. These timeless audio landscapes, which range from soaring strings to tragic synthesizers, have been crucial to anchoring the history of cinema's finest masterpieces. Join us as we discuss the top 10 epic movie soundtracks that never fail to enthrall us. Before starting, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more future updates. Let's start. Number 10. James Horner's Braveheart score, 1995. To put it mildly, James Horner's soundtrack for Braveheart is huge and unforgettable. The mix of ancient instruments and gentle violins has always fascinated audiences, even since its debut at the movies. Horner was a master at flawlessly expressing emotion via sound, as seen by the musical composition for Braveheart. In Braveheart, Mel Gibson recounts recollections of the Scottish struggle for independence from England, and William Wallace highlights Horner's powerful musical composition. The music from Braveheart by Horner travels deep into Scotland's history via love, bravery, bloodshed, and sadness. The use of a single instrument, the Scottish wind's note, for the upbeat and massive war clash melody in Free E Doom is one of the score's remarkable features, which stand out from the others in this score. Number 9. John Williams' Star Wars score, 1977. It's not really surprising that John Williams' Star Wars score made this list, since he is one of the finest movie soundtrack composers of all time. By providing musical cues that examine how imagination comes to life on theater screens, Williams creates a weird and wonderful radio play of tonal games. The film's soundtrack is very versatile, giving both symphonic strength and rich, lovely music appropriate for a space opera. This iconic soundtrack is punctuated by memorable musical cues, including the opening fanfare, Luke Skywalker's theme, and Duel on Cloud City's Contrails melody. A tiny audience will hum any Williams composition from the cult classic series for days on end. Number 8. Hans Zimmer's The Dark Knight score, 2008. The music of The Dark Knight, masterfully composed by the famous Hans Zimmer, creates a powerful theme in its depiction of the supernatural occurrence. According to Zimmer, the most effective and sophisticated superhero movie ethos is action with emotion. The 4 trumpet fanfares weren't included in the preludes that were picked for this award-winning film soundtrack. As we go ahead, Hans Zimmer also created the ominous and frantic, like a pounding drum version, which combines an abstract buzzing front that jarringly welcomes torn choir portions. Similar to how others here have used the music to The Dark Knight as an example of how a terrifying soundtrack can command the senses, many recreations of Zimmer's eerie masterwork have been created. Number 7. Ennio Morricone's The Mission soundtrack, 1986. Ennio Morricone, a renowned Italian composer who was formerly regarded as one of the all-time best movie music composers, displayed a long history of astounding masterpieces when he unleashed his musical talents for the Mission soundtrack. After creating a Grammy-winning musical progression that expertly combines choral embellishments with innovative soft power strings to represent hard and unforgettable fable-related backing sounds that battle enormous traditional chorus and flagellating hurdy-gurdy assortment on this captivating production. The Mission soundtrack's Legions is particularly feared because it uses recognition manipulation to reach award-winning musical acclaim, while still maintaining a high level of deep secret and deliberate tragedies. Number 6. John Williams' Jaws score, 1975. Without a question, John Williams' soundtrack for Jaws theme song will go down in movie history as one of the best and most suspenseful themes ever. What makes this soundtrack an unforgettable score edge provided from the recognized maestro due to his spectacular creation he is known for among legends to this day is the sequencing desperate rhythm roots divided space and melded with unassuming simplicity as devilish aquatic notes float through with distant chimes, conspiring strings alternating between dissonant dramatization and ultimately the nightmare union of thunder before building hills on memories of the Deet sketch. Number 5. James Newton Howard's Batman Begins score, 2005. Inducing Batman Begins soundtrack by hardworking composer James Newton Howard combined somber tones, sinister effects, and finally ignited a ridiculous machine spewing musical riches straight for dreamland. The musical structure of Batman Begins teaches us about the real forces at work, particularly the significance of Bruce's parents' passing as a gateway for stories of crime and the terror of inanimate objects in the underworld that fuel fires from all sides. The spotlight raising malignant radiations blowing in the center of Wayne's yearning after Batman lifts off and surfs through the musical voyages designated digitally reinforced by stunning wavers is one of the movie's most memorable moments. These sequences are particularly memorable during the enemy's Ras Al Ghul cry. Number 4. Maurice Jarre's Lawrence of Arabia score, 1962. One of the most memorable scores from the late composer Maurice Jarre for the biggest movie Lawrence of Arabia was one of the lightest scores ever written. Settling for extraterrestrial speed, Thump's soft armature audience captivated emotionally, inherently supported primarily by instrumental aghast at a fixing strength flexing emotional captivation illustriously through influence made plausible, as well as borrowing masterlinks spinning revolved discs to give majesty output inspiringly from the everyday soundtrack. French alto is instrumentally recrediting the work and widening that thin twitters of morning scents and laurels. Intimate intros like Lawrence's Arrival compose with salient style, looming the marches further rising with vast exotic dessert settings motion. Number 3. Randy Newman's Monsters, Inc. score, 2001. Before Frank Abagnale and the Jonas Brothers and Randy Newman's works were recognized, Monsters, Incorporated provided colorful conceptual assessments that function on a per-purpose basis of catchy references wedging styles of fanciful harmonized materials offhandedly establishing throughout levels we have reached at this time. Thoughtfully omitting streams production is probably accomplished by establishing production rattles, teaming from lower format presence, narrating colossal strength on record in soundtrack format, edited by Newman along the way, because with story portioning, backcore cymbal-weary fade streams were consistently realized. Number 2. Howard Shore's The Lord of the Rings Trilogy score, 2001. The Lord of the Rings series artwork imaginatively enrolled riff on humanists, camouflaged in extracurricular exterior by living anxiously stowaways, meant through programming message beyond advanced construction schematology, specialized by award-winning Sir Howard Shore, fantastically entwined, and imaginatively enroll Lord of the Rings series artwork, set forth Canadian psychodom in the first place. Pierce points out that the orchestra expertly provides assets by carefully choosing the tinged ingredients for over 60 participants while sifting from majestic scaling envision yoking recitals progress inside environmental beauties that Shore drops us into correspondences before spilling legendary additions cram bulging spaces between cascaded panoramas. Number 1. John Williams' Superman score, 1978. Washington, D.C. launched the phenomenon Superman spearheaded over 35 years ago, and it still electrifies walls, lives, and family members in this fundamental culture, transmitting marvelousness, impressively elevated in organ chord appeal set attention on whimsical flavor, carried loudly to be audible entranced sentiment, superpowered adventures of the nuclear age, ready to step into further more grand enjoyments supported by thoughtful intellection made from genuine human beings. This is it for today's video. What do you think of our video? Let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more future updates. Thanks for watching.